In Jude 1, verse 5, it says, "But I want to remind you, though you once knew this, that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed those who did not believe. And the angels who did not keep their proper domain, but left their own abode, he has reserved in everlasting remains. He has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day. And Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities around them, in a similar manner to these, having given themselves over to sexual immorality and gone after strange flesh, are set forth as an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire." Verse 8, it says, "Likewise also these dreamers defile the flesh, reject authority, and speak evil of dignitaries." So these bad conditions that brought about judgment for the people that came out of Egypt, and for these angels that left their proper abode in the days of Noah, and what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah was one of the elements was rejection of authority, rejection of God's authority. That's why there's an inclination, like in the time of Noah, to do what's wrong. Every inclination to do wrong because they rejected authority. We see a present-day administration that rejects law, rulings by judges, because that's what racism produces, lawlessness. Not respecting God's right to dictate to humans what is right and what's wrong. And of course, the governments have the authority to wield the sword to keep law and order. But again, they themselves reject God's authority. They convict the innocent and keep alive the guilty. They have failed to recognize that even though they were given authority, they have to do it based on what God says. The woman has said, "I'm not listening to what God says about my role as a wife. I'm going to do what I want to." Thus, she rejects authority. We see the women today, even when they say they're about God and they're Christian and all that, they show they have no respect for authority, because when they're preaching, they don't have a head covering on, as 1 Corinthians chapter 11 says they should have on, and they don't have a head covering when they pray, which is a sign of authority, and they disrespect that. The man shows lack of respect by his not doing things right in regards to his family. He's showing that he lacks respect for God-given authority. He thinks he can do what he wants to do. And when anybody gets that thought, well, I can do what I want to do, well, again, we come back to that rejecting authority. Children who disrespect their parents reject authority. And many times the wives are in on this, or husbands, causing their children to disrespect one parent or the other. And what have they done? Well, God promises that if you honor your parents and you respect them, you'll live a long time on this earth. So when you, as husband or wife, do the otherwise, encourage them to be not honorable in that respect, then now you're preparing them for destruction. And it's interesting that you'll find many religions, they will encourage disrespect for parents if they find that what they're saying is threatened. But the Bible does not allow for any of that. It doesn't tell you as a child that you have a circumstance where you can disrespect your parents, where you don't show them honor. Those who have humility stay in a respectful mode. They don't get out the way and think, well, I can do what I want to do. They still strive to maintain that respect. They strive to do what's right. They're not racist because they have honor for all men. They respect authority. They respect God's authority. And by doing so, they don't fall into those situations of what happened to those people that came out of Egypt, those unfaithful Israelites, or the angels that left their abode, or what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. They can't fit in those categories because they do have respect for authority.